Your project uses an agile approach. Which of the following technique helps in delivering value incrementally? Phase and reviews. Option B, deliver increment at the end of every iteration. Option C, deliver frequent minimum viable products, MVPs. Option D, deliver value in minimum business increments, MBIs. I pause, let you pick up your option. Okay, so I hope you have picked up your choice. What I see here is it's more like a tool and technique kind of question where they just want to pick up that, okay, which term technique is more associated with incremental value delivery in the PMI lexicons or their terminologies. Now, phase and review seems to be the odd one out. So that seems to be very clearly out, that option A. Probably we need to focus on B, C, D only. Now, phase and review is a good review, but not necessarily it produces a delivery. So it might be a good place to do a feedback, but we are not getting delivery. Now, option B, deliver increment at the end of every iteration. Is it possible, not possible? We don't know from the question. So idea here is we should be delivering incremental value to the end customer as soon as we can. It could be end of every iteration. In some cases, it could be during the iteration also. In some cases, it could be after few iterations get accumulated, then only something starts making business sense. So the iteration finishing and value delivery not necessarily happens at the same time. It's not like that whatever we are finishing in the iteration, that thing is the one which is getting delivered to the end customers all the time. So we flag this and we'll say, okay, let's see if we don't have anything else, we may probably come back to the option B. Option C, deliver frequent minimum viable products. Now you may tend to pick this because you might have heard MVPs and we should do MVP. The idea here is MVP might be first or second release of your product because you are primarily doing for learning, not necessarily delivering of a value. And you don't tend to deliver MVPs all the time. You deliver it initially, primarily to capture the customer taste, customer behavior, and observe how the product is functioning. And then you learn from it and then you move forward. That's the whole idea. So you don't tend to plan multiple MVPs releases. There could be some exceptions where you end up doing 2-3 MVPs where first MVP is not giving you any conclusive information, then you may go for it. But in general, for generic understanding, we can fairly assume we may do first MVP and then we learn enough and then we move forward. Now the final term, the option D, and talking about minimum business increment is the right option from my side. The idea here is the PMI has picked up this term from their discipline agile thing, where they are saying the increment, which is coming at the end of an iteration or during the iteration, if it meets the business requirement, then that increment should be called minimum business increment. So minimum business increment is an increment of a product which you are building incrementally. But whenever the increment which you have built is good enough for a business sense, then it's a minimum business increment. So we need to keep delivering minimum business increments to our end customer. And that's the term which they want to pick up. And I believe if you face a question like this, we should remember that, okay, for delivering incremental values, the PMI term is minimum business increment. Option D for this question.